Hi, this is Alexplain. This is another Explore where I will talk about the Hindree from Witch of Mercury. This is a high grade 1 to 144 scale model kit. And before we talk about the kit or the finished product itself, I want to put in some editorial notes. You will notice the videos is a lot shorter compared to the UC videos, even for more mundane. Yeah, let's go with mundane mobile suits. There are a few reasons for that. One is, of course, UC, especially 1 year war, have been around for so long, 45 years this year. It have a lot more material available for it. Second is I'm not sure if it's the franchise awareably moving away from it or just a choice because a lot of things, or maybe Bandai just haven't get into the theory crafting culture quite just yet, because on the latest menu like this for Hindree, it does not even have the model number for Hindree. Like we can see Hindree in Japanese, in English, everywhere. There's nothing. Sure, it have both English translation, official translation, but they are very lacking in description. And yeah, in fact, the Grassly House description is longer than Hindree itself. Going to the back, it talk about the backpack for a bit, but they are very large. Well, not that large, but relatively large font and not many words. Lantern shield, very, very bare bone descriptions. And for the round shield, it's almost comical that the round shield almost have more words than the lantern shield despite being so simple. I hold off a lot of my Witch of Mercury kits because of Gunpla toys in general, because there are not much on them. Even the official website couldn't have too much for spoilers reasons. But even we haven't got a mechanical manual drawing booklet for Witch from Mercury yet. But there are two like world guide style. But those books have very little description as well. Sometimes we can get some extra information by some fans pestering the mechanical designers, but how much they say and how well the question was asked are questionable. But either way. Another problem is that Hindree doesn't get a lot of screen time. The Grassly House swap to different mobile suits when they actually face Gundam, Ariel to be precise, for their duel. So even Hindree's own screen time is limited. Despite this is the base model and should be the most, populated for, a third of the major mobile suit market. But in fact, Hindree barely appears. Back to the kit. It is back to the kit. Yeah, one of the problems that you see happening in the video quite a few times is how the round shield mount doesn't stay on the waist too well. Well, or it does stay well as long as it is on the side. When you extend it, the leverage of the arm tend to want to wiggle the shield out, but otherwise it is pretty stable until you want to play around with it. Yeah, the lens, like I said in the explain video, size pretty well for the fist until it wedges up a bit of space. So, you know, you have to play around with it to, well, or, you know, don't point it straight down and it will be fine. Give it a bit of angle, it will stay. The lens does, it's very hard to see, but the lens does have a little bit of a notch to lock into the lantern shield, where I will just turn it a bit so it have more angles. I like to have it this way because this is a more natural, I don't want to say rapier, but this is how rapiers, whoops. I like having the lance javelin in this angle with relation to the grip, so it is a pseudo pistol pointing grip when used as a rapier. Like I said, the idea of a lantern shield is, the lantern shield is named so because it is a shield with a gun and some sort of melee weapon, not so much as this shield actually have a lantern like the original ones you see in Renaissance. In fact, when you look up lantern shield, you will see a lot of examples not even having a gun, just a lantern, a buckler sized shield, and some sort of blade. Now, since this lance, or more like a javelin that I explained as well, you know, but lantern shield is the closest thing to a combination weapon of this style, so I will stick with it. It is also very interesting that they just describe, or even reading the manual itself and the official English translations, it is firing beams and thrusting with its electromagnetic lance. Like the lance itself is electromagnetic, when the Japanese description is electromagnetic catapult. That's why I use that in my explanation. Yeah, either way, it is interesting. It's have a very small catapult, like a turret, and it can launch the lance fast enough, at first faster than the mobile suit throwing it, and secondly, fast enough that it can be used as a penetrator, more powerful than the beam shots. I say the magazine is a battery because that is how it is described with other beam weapons in the Witch of Mercury series. But I want to say magazine because I am going to say it has a large capacity later. And saying it has a large battery doesn't seem to support that claim, so I use the word magazine with battery. The shoulder sticker with the shiny purple. I go with the sticker this time because I don't have a purple marker and the blue looks sort of out of place when it is, with the eyes purple, which the stickers reflects much better than the metallic paint would be. But for the next build, I might not use the stickers because they are not very even. But treat it like a one-off build. There should be some color correction on the chest armor piece, but they are so minor I just decided to skip it. The round shield, it can actually turn around, so even with the extension it can still protect the front like this, or awkwardly protecting, well, not awkwardly, but doing some sort of weird protection with a bit more leverage, but works out in special occasions, I guess. Now this, the leverage is a bit tough. This can also work. This even works even folded, but it looks more natural with this. I'm not sure what this is. Sensor, maybe a kind of thruster. Maybe this is the beam deflection particle deployment nozzle. We don't have details on that. Anyways, so the model itself, going from the head, it is on a double ball joint, so it can go this far forward and this far backwards. And if we play around a bit, you can pretty much cover the top of the cockpit and look upward, and the cockpit shines better, and you can see inside the neck. And the wings from the chest plate protect the neck very well, especially when the head is forward. It is very well enclosed. The hip have a lot of crunch. It can turn to the side as well. I just need to figure out. There we go. It can turn to the side as well. It is a ball joint in the front of the chest going into a peg. It could be dangerous when playing around with it, but be gentle. It should be fine. The hip itself is solid, but that's okay. The legs are super maneuverable, and there's no skirt to obstruct it at all. Phi is 360-degree free spin, just like Begilbu. And you can do chicken leg just like Begilbu. Bit odd, the back skirt is still blocking it, but oh well. To an extent, I do feel like Grassley. Let me try this. To an extent where I do feel at some point Grassley is supposed to have chicken legs backs, but that's not here nor there. Just saying. Yeah, the fit by the looks of the design is supposed to be able to pivot front and back, but in fact it's only using the ball joint. And yeah, the lower legs V-shaped armor does block it a bit when going forward, but not so much when you go sideways, so you can actually get a natural wide stand. Well, natural natural tiptoeing wide stand. The ankle is actually on a joint as well, on a peg. So you can go further and do a split, and the skirt is what's stopping you from being stable. Oh, knee joint. I talk about this being a buckler of its design. I call it a buckler because it kind of looks like it does. It is not linked to the knee joint, which is fine for both a grunt and a basic HG build. Back armor have a slot for attachments. This is mostly safe for variants, but you know, you can use it for creatively for the hydrant. Something I didn't talk about when I talk about other Witch from Mercury HG kit is that they have the double peg for builder backpacks. Actually, I think I talked about this with Damage Trainer, but I keep calling it Damage Barding in that video. Anyways, yeah, all Witch from Mercury kits 1 to 144 kits so far have these features. You can plug in any builder backpack on it. I probably demonstrate that later when I have more videos in my library where I can start doing wild builds and talk about the, you know, fan fiction, fan lore about them besides the, you know, builder. Oh, interestingly, well, not interestingly, but props for Bandai, they have a bit of design for this backpack. So even if you use this backpack on other model kits where it will show the front of the backpack, it is not hollow. Like it's you can barely see it in the model kit. So, you know, props to them. The backpack thrusters is on an angled ball joint, so it have a bit of play, but you get more play by spinning them. Like I can, well, the bottom one is a bit big for this. Yeah, the bottom one is too big for the spinning, but the top two can go wild. Yeah, the bottom one will leverage itself out. Otherwise, sweet setup for, you know, posing. Also practical in the setting. Overall, a very nice, oh yeah, as usual, shoulder armor can almost flip out on itself, and the shoulder joint is on a ball joint that can go forward. That's how I demonstrate the counter thrust. And yeah, if I really want to, I can have Hindree holding the lance with two hands, even at a awkward angle. Anyways, yeah, overall very nice design, very nice kit. Although I like the other versions, the other variants of Hindree better overall, the Hindree give me a lot of idea for a builder custom. And depends, no promises, I might do some more painting than just panel lighting for that build. Anyways, thanks for watching.